The bandwagon effect. It's everywhere, yet most people don't even realize its presence. It may be the single psychological effect with the greatest impact on our lives. I'll show you the ways to uncover a world of secrets, insights, and knowledge by decoding the bandwagon effect that could change how you see the world and elevate your potential to an entirely new level. But before we dive in, let's lay the foundation for what's to come. The bandwagon effect refers to the tendency of people to adopt certain behaviors, beliefs, or opinions simply because they are popular or widely accepted, rather than based on their own independent reasoning. It operates silently, shaping decisions, beliefs, and actions without ever being questioned. Every day, people follow the latest trend, buy the newest product, and adopt popular opinions, never stopping to ask, why? They're swept along by the crowd, as if led by an invisible force. Now, imagine for a moment, what if you were completely unaffected by this effect? What would you see that others can't? A world of secrets, hidden truths, layers of knowledge buried beneath the noise of conformity. Breaking free from the bandwagon effect is like clearing the fog that clouds judgment. It gives you the power to make decisions based on true information, not just following the crowd. In a way, you become Maverick. A person who sees beyond the surface, uncovering truths others miss. So, why are there secrets lurking behind the bandwagon effect? Why does it work so well? It's simple, it feeds on our need for comfort. People want to fit in. They want to belong. It's easier to follow than to question. Society teaches us that success, security, and approval are all tied to fitting in. And why not? It's easier. It requires less effort. But what if fitting in isn't the path to truth? What if the majority are not right? What if the majority are merely victims of the bandwagon effect themselves? What if, by stepping away from the crowd, you could uncover things others never even see? That's the insidious brilliance of the bandwagon effect. It convinces you to settle for answers that everyone else has accepted. Once you free yourself from the influence of the bandwagon effect, what will you find? The better question is, what would you not find? When you step away from the herd, you begin to see the hidden motives, the real intentions behind actions and beliefs. It's not just about gaining knowledge, it's about seeing the world as it truly is, beyond the assumptions and the noise. You'll uncover why people do what they do, why they believe what they believe. And that's where the power lies. Imagine being able to peel away the layers of any situation and truly understand the driving forces behind it. You'll see things that others miss. You'll understand the psychology of people caught in the bandwagon effect and, in the process, gain a deep understanding of human nature itself. It's an invaluable perspective. Now, let's explore what happens when you break free from the bandwagon effect. This isn't just theoretical. We'll take a real-world example and dissect it layer by layer, revealing what lies beneath when we remove the influence of the crowd. Let's imagine something most of us are intimately familiar with. Smartphones. In this hypothetical scenario, picture this. You walk into a store, and there it is, the latest model. It's shiny, it's new, and everyone's talking about it. People are flocking to buy it because, well, everyone else is. It would be the epitome of the bandwagon effect. You have a choice. You can follow the crowd, or you can step back and ask, why? What's so special about this phone? What's really driving the craze? Let's break it down, layer by layer. At first glance, the phone's popularity is its own allure. If everyone has it, you're subtly nudged into thinking you should, too. But ask yourself, are you buying it because you need it, or because it's the latest trend? Is it logic, or the collective momentum? Remove the bandwagon effect, and you'll see the masterful marketing behind the product. They don't just sell a phone, they sell a feeling. Scarcity, exclusivity, and status are all part of the game. It's not about the functionality, it's about what the phone represents to others, your membership in the elite. Is this phone truly revolutionary, or just a repackaged model? The hype often has little to do with the phone's features, and everything to do with the buzz. The price tag is inflated. The real value lies in the social frenzy, not the product itself. Owning this phone isn't just practical, it's about fitting in. Without it, you risk being seen as out of touch. Social media amplifies this pressure. It becomes a symbol of acceptance, and the fear of missing out creeps in. Ask yourself, are you buying it for its usefulness, or because you fear being left behind? Once the bandwagon effect fades, you see the truth. This phone is a psychological trap. It preys on insecurities, making you believe owning it will elevate your status. The phone isn't just a tool, it's a validation device, sold by marketers who know exactly how to tap into your need to feel superior. The phone is more than a product, it's a trap. A non-removable battery, proprietary software, and unrepairable parts ensure that when it breaks, you're forced to buy a new one or pay for repairs. Account registration is mandatory, and optional subscriptions lock you further in, limiting the phone's function without them. And the kicker? Once you're in, it's incredibly hard to leave. Their platform ties apps, data, and features together, making it nearly impossible to switch brands. You're locked into their ecosystem, paying far beyond the initial purchase. They've created a system where you're entirely dependent on them. In the end, it's not just about selling you a phone. It's about creating a dependency, a relationship where they profit off of you continuously, from the moment you make your first purchase and well beyond. And there you have it. What started as a simple, shiny smartphone purchase has now unraveled into a complex web of influence, manipulation, and strategic profit extraction. By simply removing the bandwagon effect and analyzing it layer by layer, you've uncovered a world of secrets, the invisible truths the company doesn't want you to know. And remember, this was just one product, a single item that most people would simply grab off the shelf without a second thought. But when you apply this level of scrutiny to everything in your life, from every decision to every belief, you begin to see the world through a completely different lens. You become someone who sees the hidden motivations behind every trend, every purchase, every movement. This, my friend, is the bandwagon effect breakthrough. It's not just about making smarter decisions, it's about uncovering secrets, discovering truths that most people overlook, and seeing the world for what it truly is. And when you start to see the world this way, the possibilities are endless. Of course, the bandwagon effect isn't confined to consumer products. It's pervasive, infiltrating every corner of our lives. Take societal norms. People live their lives based on what's considered normal, without ever questioning its validity. Why do we follow these norms? Who decided what's normal in the first place? The bandwagon effect convinces us that conformity is the safest path, but it can also stifle progress. Politics? The same pattern exists. Party loyalty, ideologies, it's all driven by a collective desire to fit in with the group. People follow their parties, not because they've critically analyzed the issues, but because it's what everyone around them does. And don't get me started on social media. The power of a trending hashtag or a viral post, people react, not based on their own thoughts, but because they feel compelled to join the movement. It's an illusion of belonging, fueled by the bandwagon effect. How do you break free from this trap? It's deceptively simple. Question everything. Ask why. At every turn. When something feels too obvious, too widely accepted, that's when you need to pause. When the crowd starts running in one direction, that's your cue to stop and think. Why am I following? But don't stop at one question. Dig deeper. Examine the details, challenge the assumptions, and ask more questions. Logic should always be your guide, not emotion. Follow the facts, and you'll uncover the truth. With this newfound knowledge, what can you do? The possibilities are endless. You can outmaneuver your competition in business, spotting opportunities where others see only trends. You'll recognize which skills are valuable and which are just distractions. In relationships, career choices, or personal growth, you'll see opportunities others miss, and position yourself ahead of the curve. The world is full of hidden truths, waiting to be uncovered. But to see them, you need to look beyond the surface, beyond the noise of the crowd. The bandwagon effect is everywhere, but once you break through it, you'll see the world in an entirely new way. And when you do, the possibilities are limitless. I've shared my insights and observations. Now I want to hear from you. How has the bandwagon effect touched your life? Will you break free from it?